Okay, so if you haven't already heard, the NNA recently launched an online directory called findinotary.com that's essentially supposed to allow customers to easily find a trustworthy notary near them and ultimately allow notaries to expand their online presence to get more business. And I actually think this is a really interesting offer, especially from the NNA. So let's dig into it a little bit more. So let's just talk about what it is and how it works. So like I mentioned, findinotary.com is an online directory that ultimately helps customers find a qualified notary near them and helps the notary get more business by having a listed profile. Now, it is specifically geared towards general notary work. And I feel like a big part of that is just that the NNA already has signingagent.com. If you don't know the difference between the two, findinotary.com is going to be more geared towards locals and businesses looking for a notary, and signingagent.com, which is a profile that you get when you become like an NNA certified signing agent, is geared towards lenders, title companies, and signing services looking for a qualified loan signing agent. So just because you have a profile on signingagent.com doesn't necessarily mean that profile is going to help you get general notary work if that's something that you're looking to get, because of course most people are going on signingagent.com to find a signing agent. And so this time findinotary.com can probably help fill that void if that is a void or a gap that you're currently having. So how exactly does it all work? Well, first things first, you have to pay a subscription, and that subscription then allows you to have a profile and an active listing. Yes, we will get into the subscription fee here in a second, but let's talk the profile first. So first things first, the profile is like any other profile, right? You have your contact information, your business hours, you'll have things like your coverage area, your service offerings, maybe things like languages that you speak. Now, when you go on the website, I won't even lie to you, it does make it seem like it's specifically geared towards mobile and in-person notarizations, but I dug through some forums that the NNA has on their site, and they specifically say that as a RON, this is also something that you can use. So how exactly do customers find you? So when they go on the website from their view, all they're gonna type in is like their zip code or their city and state, and they will be able to find notaries near them. Now they can then refine that search through other criteria like the service offerings or the languages spoken, et cetera, to be able to find somebody that is their perfect match for what they're looking for in a notary. Let's talk about the subscription fee. So yes, it does cost to have a profile on findinotary.com, which is a little bit different than signingagent.com, because for signingagent.com, if you are an NNA certified signing agent, you automatically get a signingagent.com profile for free. In this case, for findinotary.com, you do need to pay for that. And that is $99 per year. So it comes out to like $8 and some change per month. But they have a promotion going on right now since they just launched, and it's like $30 for 6 months, which comes out to like $5 a month. But there is a fee, and that's something to consider, and I'll touch on that a little bit more. Now, who is it available to? So which notaries can create a profile? So long story short, anywhere in the US you can create a profile. However, you do have to have an NNA background check that's passed, of course, in order to create a profile. So like mentions on the site that obviously they want customers to feel like the notaries that they're getting are trustworthy, especially since it does lean heavy to mobile, so you're gonna be like in people's houses. And so they require that your commission be verified, which is pretty straightforward, but also that you have a background check through them in order to have a profile. Now, it kind of hinted at the fact that like maybe that's not gonna be a thing forever. Like maybe just right now as they're launching, they're gonna require a NNA background check, but in the future, they're looking for other ways to potentially allow more people onto the platform without having to have that background check. But that is something to keep in mind. And in one of the forums that I was reading, just because you have a background check with your state doesn't mean you can then use that to verify, your background check status for findinotary.com. And that's mainly because your Secretary of State doesn't allow that information to be public. It's not like the NNA can call up your Secretary of State, like, hey, we saw you did a background check on Corinne, pass that information over. Like, that's not how it works. So you do have to get one specifically through them, and they give you information on how to get. Something that I found interesting was that the biggest critique of findinotary.com actually has nothing to do with the site itself. It has to do with the price. So, the NNA posted like a frequently asked questions blog about the site, and people can leave comments on the bottom of the blog. And the comment that kept coming up was that they felt like $99 per year was too expensive, especially since it's a directory geared towards general notary work, and general notary work doesn't pay as much. So they felt like it should either be reduced or free if you have an NNA membership, which I understand, and I actually agree with a lot of those takes, because as a notary, you feel like you're constantly getting hit with fees, right? Like for training or applications, course, whatever it is, it just feels like there's always a fee coming up. And so I get why that's something that you would want to be lowered. Now, my general sentiment around like anything that costs money is just do what's right for you and your business. Now, full transparency, like this is not a sponsored post. The NNA is not paying me to talk about findingnotary.com. I just thought it was interesting, so I made a video about it. NNA, if you'd like to sponsor, hit me up. Y'all know my number. But anyways, my general thoughts are just like, listen, there's a lot of notaries out there. And I fully believe that there's enough business to go around, like no doubt, but not everybody knows how to get that. And, a lot of people, they have the website, they have the Google My Business page, and it just hasn't been enough to move that needle and get them found. And so if you feel like a directory like this can help you get more business, do it. If it makes sense for you, do it. You're not locked in forever. I know they have some sort of cancellation policy, whatever the case may be. So maybe try out the 6 months since it's only $30 right now. See if it helps. If it doesn't, don't do it again, right? I think the good thing about the NNA launching your directory is that they're huge, right? Like they have the reputation, they have the means, they have everything they need to make it successful. I think I read something on their blog that said, they get visited by 50,000 consumers a month that are just going to their site to probably look for a notary. And so now they can actually direct those consumers to a place where they can easily find a notary, and that notary may end up being you, right? And so I like that, because this is not going to be something where they just set it and forget it. They're not just going to create this site and then just leave it to the wayside. They're going to promote it. They're going to put ads up. They're going to make sure when somebody searches notary near me in the Google page that their site's the first thing that's posted. And that just means that it's more advantageous towards you. So if you feel like you're in a place where you haven't quite broken through on like getting customers, maybe try it out and see. But ultimately, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be great or fantastic or whatever the case may be. It literally just launched. But I think in terms of directories out there, because there's a ton of notary directories out there, this is probably one that's poised to be more successful than the other ones because of how big the NNA is. Just an opinion though. So anyways, let me know your opinion since I've done all the talking. What do you think? Do you like directories in general? Are you on any of them? Even if it's not findingnotary.com, what directories are you on? What do you think about the price, since that tends to be like the hot button topic right now? Leave it all in the comments. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.